So the day has finally arrived and my Varram pet fitness robot has finally come through the post. I ordered this thing back in October 2018. It's now end of May 2019. I ordered it on Kickstarter. It's taken a little while, but it's finally arrived. I cannot wait to unbox it. This thing spits out treats. It's got a schedule that you can program to keep your pet occupied when you're not around. It's got a proximity sensor on the front so it doesn't bump into things. It works out the different terrains that it's driving on. This thing is jam-packed with exciting features, so I can't wait to get it unboxed and see how the girls take to it. Here we go, the Varram Pet Fitness. So, let's get unveiling. Okay, we're currently running an update via the app, which is just completed. Right, so I programmed this thing to go off in a few seconds, and I've set it to play for about 5 minutes. So let's see how Willow takes to this thing. What's that, Willow? Willow, where's that? What's it doing, Willow? Oh. Oh. It spits out food, Willow. Oops, it's upside down. What's it going to do? It rights itself up. Check that out. So I've had the Varram Pet Fitness for a couple of days now. I've had it on auto schedule, I've had it on manual where you can drive it around and spit out treats on your command, and you use your phone and you toggle around with the touch screen to do that. And I've got to be honest, overall I'm really impressed with it. I found that its ability to, figure out its terrain, if it gets caught up in a little place, it can get itself out. There's been a couple of situations where it's got itself caught. There was a time where it was under the table amongst all the chairs, and I thought it was going to be stuck there, but it figured itself out. It got itself out beautifully, and yeah, it's really good. The dogs are intrigued because obviously it gives out food, so there's a food source there for them. So they're following it around, and it's doing exactly what it says it should do, which is keep the dogs occupied. So I'm really impressed with it. And if anyone's thinking of getting one, do it. It's a great bit of kit. Check that out. We did it. So some more information about the actual software side of it. When you attach it to your phone, connect it to your phone, shall I say, you do have certain settings in there. You can set the schedule. You can have as many times during the day that it goes off, from whatever time you want it to go off automatically. And you can set time increments of how long it will play or function for, from 5 minutes up to an hour, I think it is. And I've got it set for about 8 or 9 sort of different time schedules throughout the day, and varying in time from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. And as soon as the thing kicks off, the dogs are like, here's that thing going off again that, gives me food. So they're interested in it, following it around. There are different settings that you can have. The first setting that it was automatically set to was play in place. So the robot will just stay in the same location and just spin around and make some noises. And to be honest, it wasn't that interesting for the dogs. They got quite bored quite quickly. But then you can have it set to algorithm setting, where it just drives around and uses its proximity sensor, and it knows that in front of it is either clear or not, so it will maneuver around. And there's also another setting where you can set it so it doesn't spit out food. If you've got, well, we've got 2 dogs. One's older, one's a puppy, and the older one is more protective of her food. And knowing that this robot is a food source, she has been quite protective around it. And so if it's not spitting out food, then there's no danger there, especially if you're not around and you've got a couple of dogs or even a couple of cats. So yeah, you can really get to grips with this quite quickly. There's not too many settings on it for you to get lost in it. It's quite basic, which is a good thing. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I think it's a great bit of kit.